Montgomery County, Maryland, a picturesque suburban landscape where tree-lined streets lead to bustling town centers and life unfolds with a predictable rhythm. It's the kind of place where community events fill the calendar. Children walk to school, and the biggest news might be a new restaurant opening. But beneath that veneer of everyday normalcy, a dark truth often lies in wait, that violence can erupt anywhere, without warning, shattering peace in an instant. On one ordinary day, the unthinkable happened. The familiar hum of suburbia was brutally interrupted, replaced by screams, sirens, and the chilling reality of a stabbing spree. What you're about to hear and imagine through the lens of a Bodycam isn't just a story of crime, but a raw, visceral account of terror, heroism, and the split-second decisions that alter lives forever. It's the story of a 19-year-old, a series of desperate attacks, and a Montgomery County Police officer forced to make the ultimate choice. This isn't just footage, it's a window into the chaos, the fear, and the profound tragedy of a day that Montgomery County will never forget. Before the chaos, there was just Tuesday or Wednesday. The specific day, in the grand scheme of things, often fades into the background when the events themselves are so cataclysmic. What remains is the memory of sunshine, perhaps a mild breeze, the everyday sounds of traffic and distant laughter. Montgomery County, with its diverse neighborhoods ranging from the urban pulse of Silver Spring to the quieter, affluent pockets of Potomac and Bethesda, is a microcosm of America. It boasts excellent schools, thriving businesses, and a strong sense of community. This very fabric of civility and order is what makes the sudden eruption of unprovoked violence so deeply unsettling. Every community, no matter how idyllic, carries its unseen burdens. On this particular day, those unseen forces would manifest in a terrifying way, ripping through the ordinary lives of innocent people. The first ripple of unease began subtly. The first 911 call came in, a jumbled, breathless shriek from a caller. Imagine the dispatch operator, trained to remain calm, to extract crucial information, even from the most distraught voices. But the sheer panic evident in this voice, it was different. Someone's been stabbed at the park. He just walked up to him. Oh my God, he's still here. He has a knife. The words tumble out, disconnected, raw with terror. A young man, approximately 19 years old, armed with a knife, was attacking innocent people at random in broad daylight. The immediate point here is the sheer unpredictability of human violence and how quickly a sense of security can unravel. The example is the rapid succession of calls, each confirming the spreading chaos. The action is the urgent, escalating response from law enforcement. The Montgomery County Police Department immediately activated its highest priority response. Calls flooded in, each new one painting a grimmer picture. Suspect was moving fast, seemingly without a clear pattern, striking seemingly at random. From the park to the coffee shop to a nearby bus stop where a student was waiting for their ride home. The fear was palpable, spreading through the community like wildfire. Social media though not yet fully aware of the scale, started buzzing with fragmented reports. Police dispatch channels, usually a steady flow of routine calls interspersed with occasional emergencies, became a cacophony of urgent directives and officer updates. Every officer on duty and many called in from off-duty were directed to the affected areas. Patrol cars, sirens wailing, lights flashing crisscrossed the suburban streets, a desperate attempt to contain a threat that seemed to be everywhere at once. One of those officers, Patrolman Mark Rodriguez, had just finished his lunch break when the first call came in. He'd been an MCPD officer for 6 years, seen his share of incidents, but a stabbing spree in his jurisdiction was a rare and terrifying anomaly. His body cam, an ever-present witness, clicked into recording mode as he accelerated his cruiser towards the designated zone. Initial drive was a blur of heightened senses. The radio crackled with reports. Suspect last seen southbound on Elm Street, approaching Maple Avenue. Victim 2 is stable. Severe laceration to the arm. Perp fled eastbound. Be advised. Perp described as agitated, potentially under the influence, or experiencing a mental health crisis. Approach with extreme caution. His body cam footage from this point would show the quiet determination on his face, the subtle shifts as his eyes scanned every alleyway, every pedestrian, every parked car. The familiar streets of Montgomery County now felt alien, infused with a sinister tension. He knew the layout of these streets intimately, but that knowledge now felt like a double-edged sword. Familiarity breeding false sense of security that had just been shattered. He was looking for a 19-year-old, a young man who had, in the span of minutes, plunged an entire community into fear. He adjusted his grip on the steering wheel, his eyes darting from side to side, constantly assessing the unfolding situation. The search intensified. Officers swarmed the area, establishing perimeters, interviewing witnesses who were still reeling from what they'd seen. The goal was simple, yet incredibly difficult. Locate the suspect before he could harm anyone else. Rodriguez heard calls about a potential sighting near a local strip mall, a place usually bustling with shoppers. He veered his cruiser, his heart hammering against his ribs. The radio chatter was constant, overlapping, a symphony of urgency. Units, be advised, Perp may be heading towards the Bromas Toms.Old metro station. In the days and weeks that followed, the identity of the 19-year-old Marcus Thorne slowly came into focus. He was a young man from a stable home, no significant criminal record, but with a recent history of erratic behavior, social withdrawal, and untreated mental health issues. Reports suggested a rapid decline in his mental state in the months leading up to the incident, fueled by paranoia and delusions. The point here is the often invisible battle with mental illness and its potential for tragic outcomes when left unaddressed. This wasn't a hardened criminal. It was a young man in crisis, a point that adds another layer of profound sadness to the events. The story of Marcus Thorne and the stabbing spree he unleashed is a brutal illustration of how quickly life can turn, how the seemingly tranquil can become terrifying. It's a testament to the courage of first responders who run towards danger when others flee. It highlights the profound and often impossible decisions law enforcement officers are forced to make in the blink of an eye, decisions that carry eternal consequences. The footage remains not just as evidence, but as a somber educational tool, urging us to look closer, listen harder, and understand the intricate, often fragile, threads that hold our communities together.